Check this out. Quote, a California union that claimed to have discovered 39 million masks for healthcare workers fighting coronavirus was duped in an elaborate scheme uncovered by FBI investigators. U.S. Attorney Scott Brady of the Western District of Pennsylvania said FBI agents and prosecutors stumbled onto the arrangement while looking into whether they could intercept the masks for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, for FEMA. Quote, the federal government has been quietly seizing supplies across the country, taking the orders placed by hospitals and clinics, and not publicly reporting where the products are being routed. But in this case, there was no warehouse and there were no masks to seize. So, hooray for there being a criminal probe against the scammers who were trying to sell these masks that didn't really exist to California health workers and hospitals, right? Hooray that that's now going to be a criminal probe. But the only reason the federal government found out about this scheme and found out the masks didn't exist is because when they thought the masks did exist, they were trying to steal them from California because the federal government is still doing that even now. I mean, it's 3 months since the United States started fighting its own coronavirus outbreak, and ours is now by far the worst outbreak in the world. But this far into it, to the extent that we have a national response to this crisis, it's that the federal government is like reading the paper and watching news reports to find out if any states or cities or clinics or random union officials might have been able to find some gear somewhere. And then the federal government is coming in and stealing that gear before it can get to the healthcare workers it was otherwise going to go to. I mean, the federal government, you will recall, the president, you will recall, told the states it was up to them to figure out where they could try to get critical medical supplies. Hey, governors, go shopping. You guys figure it out. See what you can find. The federal government under President Trump ran down the national stockpile of critical supplies that they did have control of by randomly sending those supplies out, apparently according to who the president wanted to brag that he had sent stuff to the point where the national stockpile is now totally depleted. When the federal government did finally try to get some stuff themselves, the way they got their stuff was by bogarting stuff that the states had found and sourced for themselves. And that is still their MO. That is still going on, still today. That's what they're doing to the states. Here's the Washington Post, quote, some governors and lawmakers have watched in disbelief as they have sought to close deals on precious supplies, only to have the federal government swoop in to preempt the arrangements. Officials in one state are so worried about this possibility that they're considering dispatching police or even the National Guard to greet 2 chartered FedEx planes scheduled to arrive in the next week with millions of masks from China, according to people familiar with the planning. These people spoke on the condition of anonymity. They asked that their state not be identified to avoid flagging federal officials to their shipment, because they believe federal officials would steal it if they knew where it was coming. That's the status of our nation's response to the coronavirus epidemic right now. That's the leadership we've got from our government. With 579,000 confirmed coronavirus cases among Americans, with more than 23,000 Americans already dead. The federal government's big idea for supplying the nation's health workers and hospitals, for obtaining critical medical supplies, is still to find out when states are buying stuff and then go take it and not say where it's going. Good luck, America. I mean, when the president said, I'm behind you on this, governors, he meant like in the form of a stick up.